Intercast, the interview podcast. I'm Clark, your host. Wondering what Intercast is? I don't blame you. Allow me to explain. Guests can range from entrepreneurs to athletes to artists to influencers and people of all careers. Here at Intercast, we believe that everyone has a story to tell, no matter their background or their path of life, and that's why everyone is welcome on the show. Now, let's take a minute for you to get to know me. As I said earlier, I'm Clark. I've been a podcast host for just over a year now, and this is my second podcast. My first one was called Life According to a Middle Schooler. Along with my podcasting career, I'm also a journalist. I currently write articles for a New England magazine with an audience of about 20,000 people, and I also write bi weekly blogs for a non-profit organization based in Seattle, Washington. Lastly, I do freelance writing for multiple organizations, and I am also a member of the Media Power Youth Advisory Board. Now that you know a little bit about me, let's talk about the show. As I said, every week or so, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with someone, whether it be on Zoom, over the phone, or even in person. I like to keep it relatively informal, and that way I can create a comfortable environment for both the interviewee and myself. I have a short list of questions that I can ask the interviewee, but it's really best when I get to ask a question that launches a nice conversation, allowing you, the listener, to really enjoy and get something out of the show. I also like to keep as much of the raw footage as possible. And while there are times where editing out certain clips might be necessary, what's important to me is that absolutely nothing on Intercast is scripted. And lastly, there's really no designated length of each episode. It really all depends on how long the conversation goes. Well, there you have it. That's my short little explanation about how we roll here at Intercast. Before I end this introductory episode, I just want to plug a few social medias. First of all, we have an Instagram and TikTok where we post all kinds of podcast related content, clips, and even sneak peeks on guests and episodes. We also have an awesome Discord server for the podcast. The basic purpose of the Discord server is for you guys. You can recommend guests, apply to be a guest, know who's going to be a guest on the show next, and even submit questions for said guests. And finally, we have an email. So if you have any questions, concerns, idea, etc., you can just email us at intercastshow@gmail.com. Yep, intercast@gmail.com was taken. Sad. Anyway, that's all for our introductory episode, so let's end it here. Thanks so much for checking out the podcast, and I hope you enjoy the show. Happy listening!